this is Yael from Yael Alchemy, and I'm here to bring you the message of the Divine Masculine for his beloved for the week of June 18th to the 24th. Okay, no more long introductions. There are several messages regarding the current energies right now in the intro of my Twin Flame weekly reading, so do check that out. But before we start, thank you to everyone who greeted me on my birthday. I truly appreciate it. I'm sorry I wasn't able to reply because I was dealing with, there was a death in the family, so it's a rather bittersweet birthday. But anyway, in any case, let's get on with the reading and see what the Divine Masculines have been up to. Now, at the bottom of the deck, and this is usually the energies of the Divine Masculine, and this would be his message, so they kind of complement each other. This is him telling his beloved how he's been, and this would be his message. Well, here, we have here the Two of Wands, and this represents dominion. And basically, the Divine Masculines right now are getting more and more comfortable in their own power. Okay? This is stemming from themselves as opposed to what society expects of him. Okay, because he was burdened by that stereotype, that sort of paradigm that has been operational, which we have all been trying to deconstruct because we're building something new. Okay, and so the power of the Divine Masculines right now has shifted from the root chakra. That's why they're very aggressive, very fiery, to the heart now. And he's had a challenging time shifting that, where his motives would come from. And right now, a huge part of anchoring in 5D here on the planet is this shift towards heart-centered consciousness. Well, the higher heart, actually, the Christed heart. Okay, and that's where he's finding his power now, and that's getting more stable and stable at the moment, although it may manifest differently in your Divine Masculine, because again, it depends also. It's like he has to separate all these. He has to go through the fog, the confusion, and all that before he emerges and realizes who he is, what he can do, what he is supposed to do. Okay, and from there, there comes this power from the self-realization. So this is self-realization, actually. So here, from the self-realization, Divine Masculine begins anew. This is the Ace of Wands, okay? And from the impetus of this desire, okay, to operate on a different level, okay? Here he has this new beginning, wanting to create now from this version, this more authentic version of himself, which is acknowledged and accepted, and it's now trying to see, what can I do with this? Okay, so I'm this person. Okay, so he's trying to find out what he can do with himself. And look at this, we have here the Queen of Wands, and that's the Divine Feminine. So look at this is power. Okay, dominion, to start anew with the Divine Feminine here, who is his co-creator. And here we have the Prince of Cups. Okay, Prince of Cups offering his gifts of love. You can see here there are two scorpions there. In the Chariot, the scorpions, they usually represent death and regeneration. So here, and here we find eagles, birds of prey, but they're very accurate when it comes to their prey. Okay, so this is saying he knows who his target is, and that would be the divine feminine. And he comes as a renewed person, a renewed man. Okay, and then we have here the Princess of Wands, the Earth of Fire. So bringing that down into, this is, where's the, here we have the Queen of Wands and the Princess of Wands, right? Both embracing, or, you know, in the middle. So here, here in this particular deck, the Princess of Wands is actually higher than the Queen of Wands. Okay, he goes with the Prince of Wands because the Queen of Wands is water of fire, but the Earth of fire is that desire made manifest here on Earth. Okay, these are these cards. You know what? Before, when I was asking Spirit which deck to use for this reading, I was kind of secretly hoping they wouldn't use this because it's very rich, it's very dense. Not dense energy, but it's so filled with meaning that, you know, I could take an hour explaining to you each of the symbols here. And when you view the cards and you look at them, it's very deep, rich, and complex. So I'm trying to explain it as simply as possible. Okay, so this is that desire made manifest, because see here, this is water of fire. So it's still very fluid, but the desire is there. Okay, it's like water, it still requires a vessel to take shape. But once the divine masculine gets to his target, then not really the completion of the divine feminine, but it's the resolution of the agreement that you have come together, you have agreed on prior to incarnation, to several lifetimes. Okay, when your soul split, and you know that single flame split into twin flames, and you decided to go in each of your adventures as a volunteer soul. Okay, so there, and no, that's it, just up to there. So that's how he is at the moment, harnessing his personal power. So what is his message to the divine feminine? Let's open all the cards first. Okay, we have adjustment. We have the Four of Cups. We have the Princess of Swords. We have the Eight of Discs. We have the Knight of Wands. We have the Magus, or the Magician. And then we have the Devil. Okay, let me arrange this first, because this message comes in several parts. Okay, see here? Well, we can put that in the middle. Okay, look at this. We start here with these three cards. Okay, first we have the adjustment card. So, divine masculine basically telling his beloved that, look, he's found his balance somewhat, and this balance came at a price. You see here, the skater is really balancing on this scabbard. Okay, no. I don't know, is this a machete? But the handle of the machete is the planet Saturn, a very the Lord of Discipline, which means hard life lessons that he's had to learn. And this would be particularly true for the divine masculines that have gone in and out of relationships, and one of those relationships may even have been yours. Okay, because this for him it was a trial and error. It was a learning by experience. This was on the job training until he remembered who he was and what he could actually do. Okay, and he was going at this blindly, but now he's found his balance, and he needs to coast, okay, and go with the flow. You can see here the musical notes here, and that's where the grace comes in, because he's learning to balance. Look at the scales here. Here we have the feather. This is divine guidance. And here we have a vessel with a heart. And you can see an eye in the middle of the heart. Okay, which means that he's viewing everything now through his heart. And because he's what am I trying to say? It won't come out. Okay, it's like this dancer. She's blindfolded, and yet you can see her poised. And this comes with expertise, hours of practice. And what is it saying? Because sometimes when you do something over and over again, it's almost, especially if it's a sport, it's like muscle memory. Okay, you can do it even blindfolded. That's where the expression comes from. And here, now, because the divine masculine is seeing with his heart now, then that's why there is a certain poise now in how he's navigating his own life. Okay, and this came, he's telling his beloved that this came here after. It came slowly, because here this Four of Cups, this is feeling that, how do you say it? When your emotions have run the whole cycle, and there's a certain, it's like almost a sigh of relief, okay, from the divine masculines. And you see here in the middle, there is a pearl. And the pearls are actually, they say that the making of a pearl is influenced by the cycle of the moon, the tides. But you see, the pearl is made from a single grain of sand, and then it fashions itself from the bits of sand. And you know where sand comes from. It's like refuse of corals, of dead fish. Okay? So, but here, it fashions itself into something of, into a gem of such beauty and perfection, especially if you find a really round pearl. So this is one of the miracles of Mother Nature, that from the refuse, okay, of the ocean comes this pearl. And that's what's happened with the divine masculine. And now he's learning how to become comfortable with feeling that way, which has happened over a span of time. Okay, so there's this comfort now. So he's saying that, look at this, grace and comfort in what he has become. Okay, and here we have the Princess of Swords, and you can see here that the Princess of Swords, there's it's like a springing energy, and actually very stern. That's why she has here the Medusa, a Gorgon. Okay, and this is the earth of air. So this is finding clarity. Okay, clarity through the confusion. Look, rising above all this smoke. Okay, and then bringing that clarity, that thought into action. Okay, so that's a good thing for the divine masculine. If you remember, a lot of times the readings would show that the divine masculine was still sort of confused because he didn't know what was going on. I mean, if he isn't well versed in the ascension journey, the jargon, or what's going on with him, or really isn't in touch with his higher self to receive guidance, then that would really result into something. It's like a very confusing experience for him because he couldn't explain what was happening or why it's happening. So anyway, so this is, well, basically he's telling his beloved that, there's some improvement with him here. And he's ready to put thought into action. He wants to put thought into action. That is the Princess of Swords. Okay, and bring that down to earth. And so he's saying that here we have the Eight of Discs, and this is prudence, telling the divine feminine that like these eggs that are being warmed by the lantern here, there is an incubation period still. Okay, and that's why patience is needed, because if these eggs aren't warmed to a certain degree, then they won't, I don't know what do you call it when it comes to eggs, come to term, okay, until such time that they can hatch. Yeah, I know, because if it has to be the right temperature too, because otherwise, if the lantern is so hot, you get how do you say it? We have this exotic dish here in the Philippines called balut, okay, which is fertilized duck eggs. Anyway, my point is that before they're ready, they have to be warmed to a certain degree. And that's what the divine masculine is saying, that to be patient, because he's nearly there. Here, he's gotten to the point wherein he's ready to put thought into action. And that's a good thing, because for the longest time, yes, the divine masculine has had a very muddled kind of thinking when it comes to his relationship with you, and the people that surround him, and his current situation and his current circumstances. Okay, so here patience is needed because the eggs still have to incubate. They have to be ready. But after this patience, and that's why I separated this, because this is another message, because this is what is to come. Look, here, the desire to make it manifest. Here, you have fire of fire. This is swiftness. This is speed. You can see here the warrior. You can actually feel the energy of this card. He's almost sprinting across all these bolts of fire. You have lightning from above. You have Pegasus there, and the Sphinx. And he's saying that he's going for it. Even if he doesn't know, if it still remains a mystery to him, what the outcome will be, okay? And that's a result of him taking control and acknowledging his own power. He's not going to blame it on anyone else. He's not going to do it because somebody else told him to do it, or somebody expects him to do it. He's going to do it because he wants to do it. And here, regardless of the outcome, that's why there is the Sphinx there, because he still doesn't quite know the answer. It's still a riddle, okay? And so he's still going forward with this fastness, this speed, when it comes to creating what he wants for himself, okay? Remember here, he has the Ace of Wands here, right? And where does he want it? Look at this. We have the Devil card. Sorry, my dog is growling because there's a cat outside. Okay, anyway, we have the devil card here, and this is things being brought down to earth, things he wants to manifest for himself based on what he has, the direction, okay, that he has set out for himself to create anew. So, whatever age your divine masculine is, whatever stage of life he's in, he's saying that he's ready for to create this thing with such speed, okay, with speed, determination, but like he's saying, he's ready to do all this once he is ready. And it's not going to be as long as it took for him to realize his own value. It's like that's 3/4 of the job done. Once this clicks in and they're ready, then you have a go, go, go situation. Okay? And that's what he's telling his beloved. Okay, so that's what I have for you this week. And I'd like to remind you that I still have that offer up, the couples Akashic Records reading. It's half off for the month of June because it's my birth month. And do check that out and see if it might help you, because there you learn about the past lives you shared with your twin, or your partner. It doesn't have to be a twin flame. It could be your karmic. It's why both of you came together, and the karmic carryovers you've had from those past lives into this current lifetime. And then you get insight on the soul contract that you agreed on, what you agreed to work on in this lifetime specifically. And then you get 3 questions to know what he or she is thinking. And we'll see how that is answered by your partner or your twin flame. Okay, so do check that out at my website, yaelalchemy.com, and there I would advise you to do it before the end of June, because that's only until when the offer is up. It'll still be available, but this is good value for the reading. Okay, so take care, everyone. Have a great week ahead, and just hang in there. Okay, bye.